Alright, so Meta Dark Magician. So we're going to walk through building a core for a Dark Magician deck, and then I'm going to throw in some little secret techs, and then we're going to do extra deck and stuff like that. So starting off with a Dark Magician deck, we're going to start off with 3 Dark Magician, as we always do. It's the most important card in the deck. It's what the deck's named after. So the second most important card, I'd say, is Magician's Soul. This deck is going to be a little bit more expensive than my previous budget version, because URs are not an issue. I personally haven't spent any money on this game, but I have spent almost all the gems available to a new free-to-play player, but I have been able to craft a couple decks. So Magician's Soul with 3 Dark Magician, that's already 6 URs, but that's what we're working with. So we're just going to run into 3 Magician's Rod, and then 1 Dark Magician Girl. And so this is basically our Dark Magician monster lineup. It's really all the monsters we need in the deck. But that's basically what the deck's going to run off of. Along with the core, of course, for a Dark Magician deck, we're going to run 3 Dark Magical Circle. And then we're going to run Eternal Soul. However, I'm only running 2 Eternal Soul. In my budget version, I ran 3. But in this one, I'm only running 1. And then to supplement running 2 Eternal Soul, we're going to run the Magician's Salvation, which will act as the 3rd. And then I believe I run 2 Magician's Navigation into the deck, so this will allow us to, anytime we get a Dark Magician off of Dark Magic Circle, anytime we top deck 1 off of Magician's Soul, anytime we top deck 1 off of Soul Servant, which is the next card in the deck, it lets us special summon and then get another spellcaster, which is a huge plus. You could cut this down to 1, but I really like it at 2. And that is basically, I believe, most of the Dark Magician main deck monsters we run. I do run the 1 Secrets of Dark Magic, just because this is what we use to get our spells, our fusion out. And our fusion monster for the deck is not Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. This is a very good card for that budget version I was running, but it's just a little too unorthodox. The way I build this meta, again, meta is in air quotes, the way I build this meta version of the deck is gonna be more of a stun, like really make your opponent hate playing the game against you kind of deck. And that's just, I feel like, the most efficient way to play Dark Magician at the time. So our 1 fusion monster is going to be the Dark Magicians. And then after that, an engine I have kind of fallen in love with recently is Dogmatica. So the Dogmatica engine is super focused on your opponent having extra deck monsters, but it's also got a really good trap called Dogmatica Punishment. Dogmatica Punishment has become my favorite trap card in the game since I found it. So really, this engine is super small. It's a 5-card engine. It's only 1 Dogmatica Ecclesia. It is 3 Dogmatica Punishment, and then 1 Titaniclad in the extra deck. So with this engine, it's so good. So you'll be able to, anytime there's a extra deck monster on the field, you can special summon Ecclesia. Ecclesia will then search out a Dogmatica Punishment, and Dogmatica Punishment lets you ditch a monster from the extra deck if its attack is higher than a monster on the field. And then you can target that monster on the field and then destroy it. And there's some fun things we can do with that with some other cards in the deck. But focusing on the Dogmatica's Titaniclad, when it's sent from the extra deck to the grave, with Dogmatica Punishment, it'll search the Ecclesia. So it's basically a recurring engine. So if you don't have 1, like if you just have the Punishment, you can send the Titaniclad, get the Ecclesia to get another Punishment. Or you can do Ecclesia for Punishment and then Titaniclad for another Punishment, or something like that. So it's just a super reliable, sturdy engine that the deck's really fun with. One other thing we run. So the big meta in the TSCG now and on Duel Links is Skill Drain. Now I know a lot of people are recoiling in their seat right now, but Skill Drain is at 3, and we run normal monsters, so we're running Skill Drain. Don't at me. Actually, at me. I need Twitter interactions. So yeah, Skill Drain's This is just the best card in Master Duel right now. The reason Eldritch is so good right now is because floodgates are a thing in this game. So why would we not abuse a floodgate when we have it? Alright, moving on. Like I said, this is a stun version, and one thing that follows over through our budget deck is Torrential Tribute. Torrential Tribute is only a rare in this game, and it is just so strong. So Torrential Tribute's at 3 in the deck. Okay, and then for our next cards, we're going to round out with... so this is basically the core of the deck, so the last few things we're just going to round out some missing pieces that we have. So some things we're missing are like hand traps. We don't have any hand traps in the deck. I prefer Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is super good, and you do get a free one. You do get a free Ash Blossom, which is super nice. I'm going to throw in 3. You could cut it down to 2 if you would like, but I like the security of having 3. It lets you draw up more, and that means you get more when you're going second. So Ash Blossom is a super important card, and it's just super good against every deck. So the next card is the Raigeki you get for free. They really spoiled you with giving you these free, like, super powerful cards. So Raigeki. And then my secret tech of the deck is Terraforming. Now you're asking, why are we running Terraforming when we only have 1 field spell? However, I run 1 Secret Village of the Spellcasters. Like I said, this deck is make your opponent hate playing the game against you, and Secret Village with Skill Drain, with a Banish with Dark Magical Circle every turn is literally the worst thing I could ever think to do to a human being. And I do it every game. And it's just nice. It's just fun to do. So the last cards that round out the deck are Monster Reborn, which is a staple card that they give you for free, and then the Solemn Judgment they give you for free. So that is the 40 card main deck. It's super consistent. I'm actually very surprised with how consistent it is. I've played, I think with this deck in general, I'm like 12-2 in ranked. So I've been able to carry it pretty far. However, our extra deck. So we have the extra deck monsters for our core. So moving through what we can build with this. Going with our Dogmatic Engine, there's a card that I found. It makes the Dogmatic Engine even better than just recurring itself. So Elder Entity Intis is a card that I run 2 of in this deck. Intis is good, but we're not using it for its on-field effect. We're using it for the effect of if it's into the graveyard, you could target 1 card on the field and destroy it. So this, paired with Dogmatic Punishment, is a pop 1 for Dogmatic Punishment, send Intis to the grave, and then you get another pop. So it's a free pop 2 just for activating 1 card, and it's super disrupting. Alright. For our Xyz monsters, we run 3 in this deck. So I run 1 Ebon Illusion Magician. It's super standard to run with this deck. It just tutors out our Dark Magician for free. I run 1 Big Eye. Big Eye is another Spellcaster monster, so even if we're under something like Secret Village of the Spellcaster, we are able to have an extra deck monster on the field. And it just takes a monster, and taking opponent's monsters is broken. One other card we run in the Xyz department is Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon, because it's the cowboy for rank 7s. Say you make a big board and your opponent has only 1,000 life points left, you can just sit on a Flare Metal Dragon, and they can only activate 2 cards and the duel's over. So it's super impactful in the game, like, in that sense. For our Link monsters, we do run a little bit of a Link package in this deck. Links are super valuable in this deck because despite looking at all the monsters, we are able to Link climb super easily. But the one thing I want to focus on first is IP Masquerena, because like I said, this deck is stun, and so sitting on an IP Masquerena for the next turn is super easy to disrupt an opponent, because IP Masquerena can go into Nightmare Unicorn. So say you have a Torrential Tribute, Dogmatic Punishment, and other like Solemn Judgment, and then you have an IP Masquerade and then one other monster. On your opponent's turn, you can go into Unicorn, disrupt them. Then if they try and play through that, Dogmatic Punishment. And then if they try to play through that, Solemn Judgment. There's just so many interruptions in this deck that you can run just for free. We also run one Link Spider. Link Spider, you can get rid of your Dark Magicians for Link Spider, and then you can just bring it back with Eternal Soul or something like that. Link Karibo, Magician's Soul, is a level 1. So I find it pretty nice to just summon Magician's Soul, do your draw effect if you need it, or special summon a Dark Magician, and then just tutor it off into a Link Karibo. And you're just free protections. And then for the last cards I run, I won one Crystron Hauki Firebacks. Hauki Firebacks is a way to get into our Access Code Talker. So Access Code Talker is another win condition of this deck. It is a rank 4, basically the Link version of a Dark Arm Dragon that can get up to 5300 attack easily, which is absolutely busted. If you don't have this card, craft it. You will run this card in every deck, and it will win you games just by itself. So Hauki Firebacks gets us in, is another way to get us into Access Code Talker. And then I run another way to get into Access Code Talker. I run Selene, Queen of the Master Magicians. So Selene is another rank 3 card, or Link 3 card, I'm sorry. And then whenever it's summoned, you can remove 3 spell counters from the field that's on this card, and then you can special summon any spellcaster type monster. So that either gets you a Dark Magician, or it also gets you an Access Code Talker, which is again free win, gimme win card. And then our last card, or I'm sorry, we have 2 more cards. I do like Nightmare Phoenix. Nightmare Phoenix is just super standard backward removal. And then, what was my last card? Oh my goodness. I believe my last card is and Ningirsu. So Ningirsu is a super free card that they give you. They just give you this card for free. If you complete the story, you get 3 copies of Ningirsu, the World's Jealous Warrior. And it's just a super good card. It's a 1 bounce card, so it is another disruption and everything like that. So that is my actual meta in air quotes Dark Magician deck. It's super stun heavy, super consistent in a way that really surprises me. So that's that. Thanks for watching. If you want to go ahead and like the video, I would appreciate it, and go ahead and subscribe as well. You don't have to, but it does give me a warm and fuzzy feeling inside when you do, and I just like feeling that way. So thanks for watching. Bye. Zeus. The last card I run is Zeus, not Ningirsu. Zeus. Zeus is another free win, summon me, we win the game card. Zeus is at 1 for a reason. Play Zeus, not Ningirsu. Sorry.